quietly, I guess. Good morning, everyone. Has everybody made their transition for the daylight savings time? No, still working on it? Well, you know, there's something else that they do, and they don't tell you. That starting like right now, they took 12 hours out of every day. And so from now to the New Year's, time just flies by. It seems like it's faster and faster and faster. So there's something. I don't know how they got into all the clocks to make it go that much faster, but the time flies. So I want to tell you a story before I get started. It's about a beggar, and he was sitting on a wooden box. And he'd been sitting on that box for a long time, 30 years, I think. And so he had a ratty-looking hat, and people would pass by, and he would ask for some change. And he would get change, and that's what he used to eat off of and keep himself alive. And so one day, a stranger came by, and he asked, do you have some change for me? And he said, no, I don't have any change for you. Oh, come on, you can spare 1 coin, 2 coins. And the stranger said, no, I don't have anything. But I do have a question for you. What's in that box that you're sitting on? He goes, I don't know, it's just a box. I've been sitting on it for 30 years. It's, it's not really comfortable, but it gets me up high enough so I can do, sit down and still see the people and ask for money. He says, why don't you look inside? And he's like, it's just where I sat. It's no big deal. And he goes, no, look inside. And so the beggar opened the box, and it was full of gold coins. He had been sitting on that box for 30 years, full of gold coins, begging for money. That story is the opening to the book Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I thought, wow, what an opening. And then he added at the end of the story, I am the stranger that has nothing to give you and who is telling you to look inside. I thought that was pretty cool. I have a fondness for the Power of Now. As you may know, I have a fondness for a few books, but that's right up there, top 5, I think. So today's talk is We Are Family. Did you guys think of the song whenever you read that, We Are Family? So no, I'm not going to sing that for you. But it said, but which family? So whenever you hear the word, I like to get with what people think about words. Instead of just throwing them out there, I kind of like to hear what you guys think. So when you hear family, what do you hear? I mean, what do you think about? What comes to mind first? What's that? Family of man. Okay. Anybody else? Family? What's that? Human family. That's anybody else? Love. Okay. Whew. Got me off the hook there. So which family? So let's talk a little bit about family. And so another book that I'm dear to is called Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. And so my kids heard that so much because I picked up that book in high school as a junior in high school. And I won't tell you how long ago that was, but it's a while back. But anyway, so that book's been with me, and then everybody in my family, they take pictures of seagulls, and then they get tired of taking pictures of seagulls, and I think sometimes I get tired of receiving pictures of seagulls, but anyway, so it's known throughout my family about seagulls and Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And so one year for Christmas, I have 4 kids, and now I have 4 grandkids. So I do the fatherly, grandfatherly role of buying presents for the kids and seeing them light up, and I don't really expect anything coming back. I mean, they buy gifts the best they can, and sometimes they say, Dad, will you buy it and put your name on it? So I have, these things happening, and so So this particular Christmas, my oldest son bought a present for me, and he was real secretive about it. He wouldn't put it under the tree. He goes but he made it a point to tell me, Dad, I got you a present. But anyway, so we were opening up presents and had the kids around me, and I just kind of sat back, right, and let them open their presents and have a good time. And I'm going, it's not about me opening presents, but this year the kids made it a deal about me opening presents. They were all excited, and they were jumping up and down, and I'm like, why are you so excited about me opening presents? Normally you have me buy them. And so then they gave me the present from my oldest son, Ryan, and I opened it up, and then I started crying. Guys aren't supposed to cry, right? I've read that in a book somewhere. But I started crying, and guess what the present was? He had found an LP album, for those of you that's the black round things with a hole in it. He had found an LP of Richard Bach reading Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And it was autographed with their certificate of authenticity. And that was the present. And wow, it was a wow moment. And every time I think about it, it's a wow moment. And so when I think about family, I think about connection. That's love, yes, definitely there. Humankind, definitely there. All the things that you guys said. But for me, it's connection. And so when is that connection established for my family? When was it established? Well, it was established when I was born. I was connected. There was no doubt who my mom and dad were. And then whenever I started having kids, my kids had no doubt of who their mom and dad were. And so there was a connection. And so when you have that connection, you sometimes let your guard down and you let them in. And you have some of the most special experiences ever in your life because you have that connection. And I know there's extremes out there. When, some people, when you say family, especially when you say Thanksgiving, there's cringes because all the people that are supposedly connected are getting together and they don't want to be together. So I'm not talking about those guys. I am though, and so you have the other groups that come together in love, and that connection is there, and you have a good time, and you have a trust that you're going to have a good time, and you're going to be together as a family. And so you have that connection that's happened, and so here you have that connection, and it goes on, and it builds and builds over the year. You have a choice on what you do with that connection. Everybody has a choice. And so you're connected. You can't undo that. I have heard people say, I sure wish that I could undo that. And then I've heard, the other side too, about this is the greatest family in the world. And so you can't do anything to undo that connection. Your father's your father, your mother's your mother, whatever's happening. And so, but you have a choice. Are you going to promote love into that? Are you going to promote togetherness? Are you going to promote happiness? Or are you going to pick the opposite of those? You have a choice. But the connection is there. And so there's another family that I have that I feel very connected to, and that's you guys. Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living. This is my home. You guys are my buds. And even here, I have various connections that are happening, but it's a different connection. In other words, it's not by birth. I could walk out the door with all you guys and, never walk back in, and there I'd be, gone. Whereas family, it's like they talk about you when you're not around, but you're still connected. But here that connection is just a little bit different. It's by choice. We are connected in this community by choice. And there are various degrees of connection. And you can have those degrees of connection, again, by choice. You have a choice. So for me, I have the connection of coming in here every Sunday morning and seeing you and getting the COVID check, hugs okay, and giving people hugs that are up for hugs and saying hi and having a good time. And that's great. And then I started Wednesday night service. And Wednesday night service is a connection, but it's a little bit deeper. Of course, they're sitting in a circle up here, and we're really close to one another, and we get sometimes a little vulnerable, but we have the trust there. And so we're sitting there, and we have a connection. And so I call Wednesday night my family. That's another group. And then for me also, last Sunday, when those of you that came to the installation, it's like, wow. I was telling somebody I've never had that many people say good things about me in public. It was pretty nice. Kind of didn't know what to do with that, but it still was pretty nice. And so that's another level of connection. And again, it's a choice. It's always a choice if that connection is going to be there. But of course, with the immediate family, there is, well, I guess some people say you made a choice before you got here, but anyway, that's a different talk. We're going to put that one out. And so there's another group of people out here that, how many people are in the world? 6 billion, 8 billion, I don't know what the number is, but it's a big number. And so that person that you see in line at the store, what is your connection to them besides they're in front of you or they're behind you? Whenever you have somebody cut you off on the freeway, besides being on the freeway together, what is your connection with them? When somebody that has no idea who you are and you have no idea who they are, but their actions either negatively or positively affect you, are you connected? Are you connected to them? And so this connection is what I'm like resonates with me, that I have a choice with this connection. And so what I'd like to share with you is I'm paraphrasing of some thoughts from Ernest Holmes. He says, we learn to deal with all people in all situations in a spirit of thanksgiving and praise. We charge the condition positively or negatively based on our judgments, opinions, and conclusions. Therefore, each moment we are at choice. Do we choose to respond to the condition with a positive attitude of openness and understanding, or do we choose to react with negativity? Again, it's choice. It's all about choice. And then I found another one, so it's a back-to-back reading. You guys, hold on, here we go. Each of us, again from Ernest Holmes, each of us are unique expressions of God. Each of us has our unique composition. We have various skin colors, hair colors, languages, body sizes, and shapes. As we rid ourselves of our judgments and prejudices and allow our consciousness with God to lead and direct us, we see only the beauty of every person. And so with that, what is your connection to that person in the front of the line, or in front of you, or in back of you? We're all together. It's oneness. We're all together. So what is stopping the connection from happening between you and that person in front of you in the line? Anybody? Can you guess? Footstop? Yeah, sometimes judgment. But really it's choice, right? If you don't choose to be connected, you don't have to be connected, right? So you could come into this great community here and sit in the back of the room, though most people would still approach you because that's how we are family. But you could sit back there and then get through the whole service and then leave and have no connection with the people that are here. It wouldn't affect you. You would be out the door. You would be done. And most of us may not even know that you were here. But that's choice. That's the choice that we make. And so when we talk about choice in the holidays, we're coming up on Thanksgiving and we're coming up on Christmas. What normally happens? There's food drives. There's helping the needy family. There's giving a plate at the table for somebody that has no family. Do any of you do that at Thanksgiving time and Christmas time? Do you open your heart up to those that don't have the same or as much as you? Well, when that happens, what are you doing? That opening up, you're doing a few things. Number one, you're making a choice to have a connection with that person. And some of the donations we make, we don't even know who they are. We're just making the donation because we know that it'll help somebody. So we're connecting to people that we don't even know. But that connection is what it's all about, because we are all one. And so that's my message for you today, is to seek out by choice to make a connection. That person in line with you, that person that comes in here that's new, that person you meet in the grocery store, that person that's on the kids' volleyball team or softball team. It's very easy for us to make a choice to not get involved. But if you know that we're all childs of God and that you can help somebody just by your loving friendship, why wouldn't you do it? We all would. We demonstrate it at Thanksgiving all the time. Somebody comes up, we give a donation. We give some help. And so this connection of we are family, what do you think I mean now when I say which family? Mankind. Mankind. We're all family. The only difference between the families that we're born into and the families that we experience all around us is that we have a choice. We have a choice. So I encourage you to make that choice, and not only at this holiday time, but all the time. Make a choice. Remember that being quiet and not making a choice is a choice. And imagine the lives that can be changed. Just look at the lives that are changed during the holidays, that are changed for the better, the smiles on the kids' faces when they get presents that they would never get, the meal at the table and the gratitude for sitting with the family when they're used to sit all alone. Just imagine, can't we move the world then? If we get rid of judgment and prejudices that we personally have, what kind of world would we have? Now, I'm not going to give energy to all the opposites that we have going on in our world today, but there is a lot. And so it's like, well, which side are you on? Are you on this side or you're on this side? Let me get my argument points ready for you. So you don't have to take a side. You can take a side that we are all family. We are all children of God. And that we're here to love one another. And to share that, whether we're connected in a family sense of birth or not. Because when it gets down to it, that love that you have for your brother and sister and mother and father, because you know you're connected to them because you were born into that family, well, guess what? All of you are on the hook now because you all know that you're connected. And God, you're all connected. We are all one. So no more excuses. You got to jump out there. And you got to share your love with the world. And that's my word for you today. Share the love with the world. I guess it's more than a word. But anyway, I hope that this resonates with you and you make a choice. And no, you don't have to go out and invite everybody at Costco to dinner. But just make a choice to start. Make a choice to have a different perception. Make a choice to rid yourself of the prejudice and judgments that you have. And it's not going to be easy. You've had a lifetime to build them. But now you know you're all connected. And so now you can do it. And so it is.